Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Mama's Legacy Podcast, and we're talking about Damian Lillard. I'm joined here with Jay. What's up, Jay?
Dame to the Raptors.
Dame is not going to the Raptors. We know that's not going to work. We know it wouldn't. But we're going to jump in. So Damian Lillard right now, with the firing of Scott's, and they wanted Jason Kidd, if I'm correct, and they got Billups lately. Billups is a rookie head coach, never coached before, and I don't think Dame has the time to wait and see if Chauncey can be a great coach. And a lot of NBA people, fans, GMs around the league are starting to think that Dame will request a trade. Jay, I'm going to ask you real quickly first. Do you think Dame requests a trade?
Um, if he does, it's going to be like in midst, like right before the trade deadline.
You think so? You don't think he'll do it before?
No, because I feel like it's going to be a very similar situation to the Harden thing, except not, I don't think Dame will be disrespectful because he's way too loyal to do that. But like if he does want to request a trade, then he's not going to be like a Harden type and go to strip clubs and all that. But I feel like it's a very similar situation. Like even down to the coaching part, like Chauncey Billups is a first time head coach. Steven Silas was a first time head coach, but they were both assistant coaches for other teams before them. I think it's like a very similar situation, but different personalities.
I definitely agree. I think it will actually come down being a lot similar like that. Both superstars that want to win now and don't think their current situation can fulfill that. So, with that being said, real quick, where are your top three destinations where Damian Lillard should go? Not where he will get traded, where you think he should go.
Um, all right. So to feel like a championship winning mentality, there's three teams. One of them I'm unfortunate enough to have to say, but there are three teams that he could go to that would make it very interesting. I think he definitely has a chance to go to Philly. Everyone's kind of drawing up that trade. The second team, oh god, the Lakers.
Mm.
And the third team, if the assets are there, like I'm pretty sure everyone who knows about the Dame situation, they're like all reading the tweets and etc. And they went back in to 2017 where he said either Utah or LA. I'm thinking Utah would be a good fit for him too.
I think it'd be interesting to go to Utah. I think that would be a decent fit for him. I'm not entirely sure how him and Mitchell will work out, but
I
my
mean,
top three. Oh, my bad.
I think like it'll be a pretty good trade because I'm pretty sure they will give up Jordan Clarkson and just like let him put good stats on an empty team or empty stats on a bad team, and just like it will literally just be Jordan Clarkson and vibe.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But real quick, my
And
top three teams where I think he should go to. I think the Lakers would be number one. I think he'd definitely
yeah,
win for
obviously.
sure. I'm not. There's a little bit of bias there, but let's not be on. Let's be honest. Him, AD, and LeBron would definitely win a championship or two. Number two is actually somewhere where I believe a trade can be pulled off. The Denver Nuggets. I think that'd be perfect for him.
Ooh,
And number three, where he should go. This is going to go against a lot of things I say. Toronto. I think he'd fit perfectly in Toronto. I
yes!
don't think he will end up there, but God, that would be an amazing sight to see him win in Toronto because
It would be a really good sight to see. I just don't think it will happen. Mainly because my reason that it probably won't happen. I know like Dame always says that he doesn't get offended by Twitter people, but honestly, he tweets too much not to get offended by Twitter people at some points. Um, but like I'm pretty sure if you're part of NBA Twitter, there was that one Raptors account that decided it would be a great idea to say, "Hey Dame, you do realize Chauncey Billups did I can't say this on a podcast, censor poop. Why did you hire him?" And that kind of, it ticked off Dame. So I don't think he's going to come to the Raptors. And if he does, then trade Van Vliet.
ooh, well, you'd have to. Uh, But
I
that
know,
beep was really
but
good.
I
I might
mean,
not even have
it
to
would
edit
be
that.
great if he did.
You're not the biggest Van Fleet fan, but yes, Dame Lillard was offended by friendship Twitter guys.
All right, great. Our
No,
podcast is getting canceled.
no, we're not. No, we're not. Friendship
God
Twitter's
dang it,
terrible.
Max.
Friendship Twitter's terrible. They can come at me all they want. What are they going to do? But real quick, the three most realistic teams that have a trade for them. I actually have Denver Nuggets at number one, and here's my trade. They get the Trailblazers will get Jamal Murray, MPJ, Monte Morris, and 2 first-round picks for Damian Lillard. I think that goes through in a heartbeat. Portland gets a bunch of young talent that they can develop, and Jamal Murray is still like a kind of win now, still developed player. This team has those 2 players alone have a lot of talent. Monte Morris is an excellent bench player, and you get 2 first-round picks. I mean, who says no in this, Jay?
I don't think anyone says no on that because I mean you get MPJ.
Mm-hmm.
I want to touch on this because I feel like it would be an interesting thing. So this year in the playoffs, we saw that Julius Randle needs help there desperately, and I touched on that on the last podcast that we did together. People were like throwing Randle a lot of shade because he performed badly, yes, but he also it was literally like the only offensive scoring options on that team were Alec Burks and D Rose besides him. And that's mainly how they got their points because Randall would get triple teamed and pass it out to either Rose or Alec Burks because RJ couldn't hit anything. Alfred Payton, no. And pretty much everyone on that team was like a negative scoring option besides, Rose and Alec Burks. So I think the Knicks are very inclined to try and get a superstar player that could take that offensive load off of Randall because the Knicks are already a great defensive team. They don't need more defense. They were fine on defense. They just need more offense, and Dame could put that together. And I mean, the Knicks have a bunch of like young talent. I mean, obviously there's RJ, then there's Obi Toppin, then there's I guess if they want Kevin Knox, the Fortnite guy, then they can get him too. So there's a lot of options for trades there, and I'm pretty sure Lillard said like at one. I'm not completely sure on this, but I feel like there was one time where he said he would go to the. Oh yeah, it was on like the JJ Redick podcast. He said that he had ideas of going to the Knicks because big contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that'd be. I think he would want to go to the Knicks. I think that'd be a good fit, but honestly, I don't think the Knicks have enough to trade for him. They don't have enough. They'd have to give up all their draft capital to get somebody like Dame, in my opinion, and I don't think the Knicks will dive too hard on that.
I mean, I think the Knicks honestly would because I mean they're tired of being in the lottery. Like,
yes, but Dame, we don't know how long he'll stay there for, right? We don't know if he'll resign, come back, blah blah blah. But you also have to give up like RJ. I think RJ's for sure in that deal. You give up RJ, you've lost your young talent right there. You're probably going to have to give up just a boatload of stuff if I'm the Knicks, and the Knicks aren't, in my opinion, in a position where they can afford to do that for one guy.
But I mean, like RJ wasn't a valuable asset in the playoffs. He was
not in the playoffs, but in the regular season, he stepped up his game.
He definitely was. But a lot of the times they were playing Reggie Bullock, and Reggie Bullock was outperforming RJ by a ton, not only offensively but also defensively. And I think and Reggie also he hit a ton of very clutch shots, not just in the playoffs but also the regular season as well. So it might be like a pretty solid idea to kind of just like put him as a starter, ship out RJ. Let RJ, do his thing with his own really bad team and all that, etc.
All right. You know what? The more I think about it, I think he could go through. But for my second team, I have the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans have a nice offer here. Hear me out. Brandon Ingram, Alexander Walker, Lonzo in a sign and trade. The Lakers pick. The first round pick they got for Davis, one of them, the 2022. and then 2 first-round Pelicans picks.
Now that's all cool and all, but I got one thing to say to you, buddy. Dame wants to win now.
He does, but if Portland isn't going to 100% say we're like, if they don't, if this is implying that Damian Lillard doesn't give him a list of teams that he wants to go to, and they get this trade going. And don't get me wrong, I think the Pelicans can also do some other things come free agency. I think they're not too far from making a playoff push, and I think Zion and Dame together would be a legitimate duo that could win. I think that would happen. Because you can put Zion at every position, just have Dame do the scoring.
The problem with that is that I'm pretty sure they have Ingram at like a very high standard for like trade value assets, because I mean he's still really young. Mm-hmm. And him and Zion is like, it works. And it honestly, I kind of think of like Ingram and Zion. It has a potential to be like a Middleton Giannis type deal, except shorter.
Well, the problem with that is Zion's unhappy in New Orleans. He wants to win.
No, his family's the one that's unhappy.
We all know that was leaked to them. That's how it always starts. The player rants about it to his family. Family says it first because the player doesn't want his reputation to go down. Blah blah blah. We all know it was Zion leaking it to his family. Maybe that's not true, but there's a good chance that that's the case. I mean, let's be honest. That is how it starts a lot of the times. But if it's true that just the family doesn't like it, then I think you do keep it. But if it turns out that Zion's unhappy and wants to win now, you do whatever you can to bring another superstar to New Orleans, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
Who's your second team that you think Zion could get traded? Not Zion. God damn it, Dame could get traded to.
Well, I mean, Zion could go to the Raptors.
Stop it.
It's an option, we
give him Pascal, VanVleet, Lowry, and 4 firsts.
I mean, he could just come in free agency.
He's going to New York in free agency. But where do you think Dame could go?
For other teams that Dame could go, I think okay, let's just get the elephant out of the room. Philadelphia.
Ooh, what's the trade package they got there?
The trade package, everyone on Twitter knows the trade package. It's literally just Ben Simmons and whoever the fuck else.
Anybody but Joel?
Just not Joel. They could well, I guess probably not Joel and Seth Curry, because I mean, after what Seth Curry did, they're probably not going to trade him unless it's like for, Dame. Well, thank you for responding to that. Thank you, Max.
I'm thinking about it. Do you trade Tobias?
I think Tobias is a good asset in the regular season, but he's not proven anything else elsewhere. I don't think you trade him for Dame. I think you just let Simmons kind of control that area, and Simmons, Maxey, whatever, Shake Milton, any of those guys. Because, contract-wise, you definitely have to have Simmons and Dame. Because Trailblazers aren't taking Harris. Harris is way older. And, he doesn't contribute much to, a rebuild stage. Simmons, he's very young. He has a huge $160 million contract that he did not prove in the playoffs. And, you have to have the centerpiece around Simmons. And then some other young players, because I mean Embiid, he wants to win, and he is obviously tired of Ben Simmons. And Rivers said that he doesn't know that Simmons can be a championship contender point guard. So you bring in a different point guard.
I think that would work. I'm not sure Doc's the coach to do it. But I think
not Doc, not Doc. I think you could also for that Philly team, I say ship out Harris too.
Mm-hmm.
And just you can just trade Harris for a small forward and a power forward. Hopefully, I mean, because Danny Green isn't the best starter to have. That out of everyone else.
Yeah. We don't need to remind me. I mean,
of
we
your
know.
pain.
We know why.
Yeah, we know. Um, I'm not sure who you exactly trade Tobias Harris for, but he's valuable enough. Like maybe you just get rid of him for like two shooters in those positions, so Embiid can just absolutely clog the paint.
Yeah,
Because
I think that would work.
I think you could like make a deal. You could literally just run Philly if you trade for like. I mean, they did a good job to have an all shooter team except for Simmons this year. But I mean, Tobias wasn't really knocking down shots. Danny Green got injured, and well, I mean, even before that, he was shooting like 20%. I think like they could literally just run Philly if they trade Harris and Simmons. They could run Philly just like Orlando Magic 2012.
Hmm. I think that would
Just
work.
just Dwight Howard and everyone else who can shoot. You know?
Hmm. I'm following you.
Except this time, and Dwight Howard actually has a 3-point and a mid-range and a post-fade game and can literally do whatever he wants on the offensive end and can draw fouls and can knock down free throws.
Right.
So let's just say Orlando 2.0.
I do find that take interesting, but I think unfortunately we all know where the top destination is, and it pains me to say,
God.
Golden State.
Oh, no.
Andrew Wiggins, Wiseman, Parashal, Pascal. I suck at saying his name.
It's Eric Pascal.
Eric
It's
Pascal.
literally simple. It's so simple.
Shut up, okay? You shut up. So Wiggins, Wiseman, Pascal, in the 7th pick and the 14th pick. Do you think Golden State says? I mean, Portland says yes.
I mean, they could say yes to it, but I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be great because, like, I mean, who would you like run? I guess Draymond at center.
You could, yeah.
I mean, you could, but I don't know how. I mean,
That
I
would
love
work.
Draymond as a defender, but like, I just feel like they'd be losing out on the power forward and center possession because, like, if you're giving up Pascal, then that gives up like Pascal. He's really underrated. I love him.
Okay, but hear me out. This team will work so well. Point guard Curry, shooting guard Dame, small forward Clay, Draymond. You can run him at power forward or center, and sub whoever in wherever Draymond doesn't play. That is a championship team.
I mean,
Steph Curry and Clay can both play off ball. They've shown it.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like that would be like, I don't know. It would literally just be having Dame and two CJs, except one CJ with defense. You know?
No. That Steph Curry would be able to facilitate the ball. They'd be able to switch whoever takes the ball down. They would not be like two CJs. They'd be. It would be Dame and two. You can't compare them. I mean, you can't say Clay and Curry would be CJ.
Okay, but you know what I'm trying to get at here. So basically, that team would not defend a rock, other than like Clay and Draymond, and unless they like make a really big free agent signing, that would mean that either Draymond plays center or Jordan. What was his name? Jordan Bell plays center.
Yeah, but
or
I mean, even then, that's pretty
unless
damn
you want
defense.
Smailagic, you can have Smailagic as a starter.
No. I think.
Or maybe actually, it could work to have a Juan Toscano Anderson in the starting lineup. Maybe, probably not.
Probably.
But he played good defense on LeBron. So
stop it.
Who knows? He did. LeBron. Okay.
Don't remind me.
If it wasn't for that one shot, it would have went down as like LeBron's most embarrassing, like, clutch or clutch game ever. Because like he got blocked by Wiggins and then put up a mid-range and hit the backboard.
Okay, well, how many times have you seen a superstar knock down a 3 buzzer beater while seeing 3 rims? Tell me how many times.
It wasn't a buzzer beater.
Oh, well, it wasn't a buzzer. My bad.
Idiot.
It was the Lakers buzzer beater, but it was the nail in the coffin right there. How many players have done that while seeing 3 rims? You can't say it. Stop it. But we're not going to get this into a LeBron rant real quick. What is your most likely Damian Lillard gets traded to situation?
I think that Philly is the most realistic one, just because contract wise, it 100% makes sense.
That's it. You're not going to give me a third team.
I mean, I could give you a third team. I mean, we go with Utah or the Lakers, but I mean,
The Lakers have
already,
let's be honest, the Lakers have nothing to trade.
yeah, they really don't, and that's why I'm not saying the Lakers. But I mean, if they request a trade, then whatever.
The only way Dame's getting to LA is if Dame says he only wants to go to the Lakers. That's the only way it's happening.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But like general managers aren't that stupid. They're at least I hope not. If the Trailblazers actually trade Dame for
Hey,
Kuzma,
look what the Rockets
KCP,
did with Harden.
Yeah, but so the thing with that Rockets trade, they got Oladipo thinking that he would actually care. They knew that Christian would, he was there. They had John Wall. Who else did they get? They got like some first round picks. And I mean,
they didn't get Harden value back though.
No, they didn't get Harden value back, but they still like at the time thought they would, they would at least be in the playoffs because they got
if
like
that trade can go through, we could pull something off.
Before Christian Wood got injured, the Rockets had a chance of making the playoffs. They were doing very good, and they were second in defense, I believe, in the first 3 weeks. And then Christian Wood got out.
Before Christian Wood got injured, they looked like they were playing damn good basketball. They were going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, and they could have been like a very scary 7 seed, which I would have loved to see LeBron go up against that, or even like Curry. Like that would be a good matchup. Like it would be a good matchup, like totally good matchup. Because I mean, you at that time, if they weren't tanking, then they probably still have PJ. You still have Eric Gordon. He's always just reliable in general. Jayshawn Tate, maybe he wouldn't have shined as much or gotten as many minutes. Same thing with Kenyon Martin. But, I mean, they were still options. Christian Wood, etc. Like, it would honestly be, like, a really good matchup against the Warriors. I mean, put Oladipo on Curry and then just let everything else shine.
Yeah. I think.
But, in general, like, but the difference is between that Houston trade and what you're thinking the LA trade is, who do they get that would be perceived as the Oladipo?
Do you want me to say my list?
Go ahead. Put me out my misery.
THT. Young guy got plenty of talent for the future.
Kuzma.
There you go. You knew it. You knew who's coming next. Kuzma.
Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, a first, and Kuzma again. We can trade twice, right?
Yeah, definitely.
2 Kuzmas. And a number 5 from Wendy's. We'll make it happen.
And an unprotected first-round pick from 2078.
Make it happen, Portland. You know that's an offer you can't refuse. But in all seriousness, the Lakers have nothing to trade for him unless Montrez comes back. They don't want Montrez, though, but we can throw Montrez in there. Kuzma, he's not that great. Dennis Schroeder, not that great unless Portland's still trying to make the playoffs.
I guess, like, so my thing with, like, Schroeder is that before that Lakers run, he actually played pretty good in the playoffs during the Thunder and Houston series. So, like, that's why I was hyped for him, because I was like, yay, my guy, like, he was actually one of my favorite players for a while, and then he went to the Lakers, and I was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
You know what? Well, screw it. You're a lost cause, buddy. But, like, the thing is, he never wanted to go into the Lakers in the first place. Like, he literally said the 2 places that he didn't want to go was New York and the Lakers. Like, he completely said that because, like, I guess for the Lakers situation, he didn't, like, I guess he just didn't want, like, the entire fame thing going about him.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, I can understand why he wouldn't want to go to the Lakers because I mean, he wouldn't be a point guard. Like a point guard that plays with LeBron is just a shooting guard that can't shoot most of the time.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm correct. There's like 0 point guards in NBA. I mean, Kyrie was always more of a shooting guard.
Yeah.
Like Kyrie, he didn't pass. He passed like twice a game, and that was pretty much it. But he could score. He could score and he could, dribble. Tween heads, he splash.
We're not
But
going
he
to do
didn't
the
pass.
Kyrie slander, but
No. I love Kyrie, but he's never been a passer, and that's why he kind of fit with LeBron because LeBron, he's incredibly ball dominant for a reason though. Like he's a very intelligent basketball player, but if you're a point guard, your main job is facilitating. But if you're playing with LeBron, then that kind of it defeats the whole purpose of being a point guard.
yeah, it does defeat the whole purpose. I'll give you that. I thought there was something else you're going to add, but honestly, I think that's all we're going to wrap up. But again, this is going to be really interesting to see if Dame does request a trade, where he'll go, and what will happen from here. I want to thank you guys for tuning into the Mama's Legacy podcast. Make sure you check out the website. Make sure you like, subscribe if you're new, and stick around with us because we'll bring you all the updates on the Damian Lillard situation as they come out. Take care, everybody.
Oh, hold up. Before you end the episode, I just want to tell so everyone, Andre Drummond shot 49% this season. All right, you can end it now.
Die.